Hello, Buggy, boys and girls. We are here with episode, what is this, episode 5 now?
This is episode 5.
Episode 5, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going strong, dude. We're killing it. And we're going to start this week off with something a little bit different. It's still Whiskey of the Week, but we're calling it The Chronicles of Jack, okay? This is what we're doing.
It's a saga.
It's a saga, all right? We're going through a bunch of different Jack Daniels. Yeah, check that out. We got a little itty bitty baby bottle.
Well, because at the liquor store they sell, you either get a baby bottle or you get a gallon of Jack.
Yeah, and we weren't all about that. Neither of us are huge fans of Jack, I don't think.
I don't think either of us hate Jack, but it's like we've had Jack Daniels before.
Yeah, we prefer
There's
others.
no reason to buy a gallon of Jack Daniels.
I'll sip on that.
I mean, there's definitely a reason. It's a good whiskey. But
Yeah.
we've all had Jack Daniels before. If you've hit the age of 21, you've probably also had it.
Even if you've hit the age of like 18, you've probably had
Well,
it.
we're not condoning that, Gage.
We're not condoning it at all.
Nobody condones that.
Absolutely not.
But you got to start with the original. Jack Daniels, original number 7. It's the classic. Everyone's had it. It's the classic Tennessee whiskey.
And we're in Nashville.
We're in
Nashville,
Tennessee.
We gotta do it.
So I think we start off with the old number 7, the classic
sure.
Jack Daniels. And in the particular liquor store that we've been going to, there's like 10 different types of
There's
Jack.
so many
Many different types of Jack. So we are going to work our way down the list.
Down the line.
We're starting
baby.
with number 1. We're probably going to move through all of the basics at first, and then we're going to start getting into the fancier stuff as we go down the line. There are some pricey
There's
bottles
some pricey
of Jack.
man.
So it's probably going to be like a 10-part Chronicles of Jack series, but we are going to move our way up to the most expensive bottle of Jack we can buy, which I think we saw it at that other liquor store was like $100. Something like that.
I didn't see that.
No, the one that Nick showed us. It was like that stupid one in a box.
Yeah, the special one.
Some special edition
but
Jack
really,
Daniels.
how different can it taste?
How different can it taste? Well, we're going to have a reference the whole way down.
You right.
So we can see it from the cheapest to the most expensive, what Jack Daniels tastes the best. Which is going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, dude. Cheers to that. Let's take a little sip of this Jack Daniels here.
Jack Daniels, Whiskey of the Week. You've probably had it, but if you haven't, give it a try. Tennessee whiskey.
You've probably had it, though.
It tastes like Jack Daniels. Can't really go wrong there.
Yeah.
I keep on sliding over.
Of course. You're slanted.
I'm slanted.
We're going to start this week on a kind of a somber note, at least for us, maybe a little bit. Our home state and city, town. It's not a city.
I mean,
has been
Omaha is our home to some extent.
Yeah,
it's also being affected.
Anytime anyone asks where I'm from, I usually just say Omaha.
Omaha's easy,
because you say Fremont, Nebraska, and be like, "What the fuck?"
I
is
always
that?
say Fremont. It's a small town, a little bit north of Omaha.
Yeah, I always just say 20 minutes from Omaha.
Yeah.
But a lot of really major flooding has been going on. Bridges going out, people losing homes, a lot of really sad stuff. And we just thought we would highlight that for a minute, just at the beginning of the podcast here, because it's close and it's dear to our hearts. You know,
Close to our hearts. It's absolutely devastating. There's not a whole ton of pictures. I mean, you can see. This looks like it says it's in Illinois, but I mean this goes all the way down the Missouri River.
The whole Midwest is really
Midwest is really in trouble right now. Essentially, what's happened is we had that huge polar vortex that came through this winter.
Yeah,
and it now it's all melting. It's getting warmer out, and it's melting. It's moving down the Missouri River because the water goes down that way. But yeah, it's flooding pretty much all of our hometown.
It's not great, man.
Underwater.
National Guard came in a couple times to save people out of their homes that have been flooded and started collapsing. Just all kinds of crazy crap, man. It's not good. It's really not good.
It's really not good. We're talking about I don't even know what monetary number to put on it, but we're probably talking multi-millions in
For
damage.
sure. I mean,
like
the bridges alone,
20, 30 million.
there's been bridges that have been wiped out just by floodwater, and I guarantee to repair.
Those are just the big ones that we're talking about. We're talking about like,
Oh, yeah.
So in Omaha, there's a couple big streets. You got Maple Street, you got Center Street, you got Dodge Street. All of the bridges that connect Omaha to Fremont are gone.
Maple's fine.
Maple is fine right now.
I saw a report that said Maple, it's rough. There's a lot of potholes, a lot of cement missing, but you can go across it.
But that's the thing. We're talking about the 3 major streets. Those are taken out or completely riddled with potholes. Yeah. Think of all the side streets. They've just got to be gone as well.
Oh, for sure.
The infrastructure of Fremont and Omaha is just, it's going to be ruined for the next, I'd say, 5 or 6 years. Yeah, it's going to take a lot of time and a lot of money.
But knowing how long construction take, I mean, shit, man, we saw them try to make that bridge across the Platte River a few years ago. It took forever.
Yeah, that was.
It's all wiped out now.
Yeah, that's like 5 years of work that they were like. I feel like they weren't super motivated to get that done in a minute.
No,
but like.
Still,
now they're going to be motivated. It's still going to take them, like
people have
2
to
or 3
get
years
to city.
get across there.
A huge shout out, real quick, to Hy-Vee and the National Guard and some state troopers for escorting a few Hy-Vee trucks full of supplies, food, and toiletries, and all the basic stuffs, as well as some fuel getting into Fremont, Nebraska, which is where me and Trevor are both from. They were completely isolated from all cities. Any way in and out of the town was pretty much blocked off. You couldn't do it.
It was in water.
Yeah, you just couldn't do it. So huge shout out to them for making that happen. And
I mean,
getting some
real
supplies
shout
to
out
them.
to like all of the National Guard and the police department and the fire department. I'm sure they've been working their asses off out there, just trying to get people safe.
And I'm sure they continue to work through it.
I bet they're still
goes.
fucking going.
Oh,
like
absolutely.
It's been a week, and I bet there's still people stuck in their homes.
Yeah.
That I lived in Fremont. There are people who are still stupid enough to their basement is full of water right now, and their living room is half full of water, and they're like, I'll just fucking stay on the second floor.
We'll make it. We'll make it. Yeah.
So I bet there's still people who are staying in their homes, toughing it out, no electricity. They're crazy.
Yeah.
But
I mean, we Nebraskans, man, we're stubborn.
we're tough people.
Yeah. Nebraska's strong, baby.
Nebraska's strong. If any of you watching would like to donate, it seems like the best page here is this Facebook Nebraska Storm and Flood Relief page. They've already raised over $200,000 for the flood relief cause,
Which is great. But probably not enough, which is crazy. But
definitely not enough.
Yeah.
We can only do as much as we can, but we will leave the link down below in the YouTube description.
even a few dollars helps, man.
A few dollars helps
$5,
here and there.
$10, whatever.
It doesn't matter what you're able to give. If you can't give anything, just give a voice, give it a share, send it out to people that you know, see if they have anything they can give. But there's a lot of people in need, and they could really use your help right now. So give it a look. And I guess that will be our piece on the Nebraska flood.
Yeah. We love you all in Nebraska. Stay strong.
Stay strong.
You can do it.
Swim.
Yes, swim if you need to, man. It's not funny, but
It's not funny, but you gotta look for the light in this situation, you know?
always look for the positivity. But on that note, let's move to some dope-ass electric cars, which I'm always excited about. Trevor, tell us a little about what we're looking at here, man.
So this here is the Scion, which like you gotta think, you name yourself Scion when there's another car company called Scion.
Yeah, that's ballsy.
Like their company name is Sono Motors, But they have just announced the first mass-produced electric car that can charge its own battery using solar power.
So cool.
So it's got solar panels along the doors. It's got solar panels along the roofs, on the hood. It's just covered in solar panels. And on a sunny day, if you leave it out in the sun and you're not driving it, it can bring back 25% of its power on a sunny day.
Okay, so we're not talking like something that you can just drive on the interstate cross country and go forever.
No, it's definitely not at the point where I don't think we'll ever get to a point with solar where we can have real time charging.
Yeah, probably not real time. We can probably get pretty close.
I mean, where we're at now, this car is covered in solar panels. Like you can.
Is it? I thought it was just the roof here.
I don't know if you have it pulled up on your laptop there as well. You can see like on the little panels.
Oh shit! The doors,
like
and
the
stuff.
door panels over the gas tank. There's fucking or not gas tank
Yeah,
because
there's,
there is
like,
no
little
gas tank,
lines.
but there is solar panels all over this car. So they are definitely maximizing their efforts to try to be able to charge this car, but I don't think it can put out enough like voltage to be able to charge
I
an
feel
entire
like
car like
this
that.
is like a perfect car though for shit, man. Even Nashville.
I
You
mean,
go to work in the morning, you run your errands, you do whatever you got to do. You come back home, you park in the driveway. Next morning, shit's
And
charged.
in theory, it should never lose its charge if you're just using it as a grocery getter, if you're using it to drive to work.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, if you live in a sunny environment and you're driving to work every day, you drive, 20 miles to work maybe.
Yeah.
Say this car has a 300-mile range. That's pretty ambitious. That's a Tesla range.
Does it say the range of this vehicle?
Let's take a look.
Dude, it's all-
250 kilometers. So that's about 180 miles, I'd say, ish.
Yeah.
You can do the math. I'm not going to.
I'll check you on that. 280. What?
250 kilometers.
Oh.
I would say 180 miles. That's my guess. What is it? Kilometers to miles. Give it to me.
255.
What do you mean 255?
Hold on.
250
Oh
kilometers.
shit! Sorry. Yeah, sorry.
250 kilometers to miles.
That's 158 miles.
So I was very close. I
That's
said
still pretty
180.
good. That's a daily driving car.
So 150 miles. If you drive 20 miles to work, 20 miles back, that's 40 miles a day. You're going through about a third of your battery ish,
Yeah.
and it recharges 25% on a sunny day.
Can you plug this car in?
Oh, I'm sure you can. You have to be able to.
Yeah. You have
Jinx,
to.
you owe me a soda.
Shit. Hey.
But yeah, so essentially, if electric cars move this way, you're moving away from having to charge your car. Essentially, like you're going to work in the morning, you leave it out all day. It's a little bit on the counterintuitive side because I feel like during the summer, when you have sunny days, what are you looking for? You're looking for the spot in the shade.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to look for the spot
In the sun.
in the sun.
But that's easy. There's so
Your
many
car
spots in
is
the
going
sun.
to be so hot when you get into it.
I wonder if they
Do you
have
think they
anything.
account for that?
Does the physics of thermodynamics account for that?
Do you
Does the solar panels
do they absorb the heat?
Exactly. Like, does the solar panels observing the energy from the sun counteract the heat that you would feel in your car?
Do you think that the solar panels are creating heat as well, though? Because they're taking that power somewhere.
They're taking that power and putting it into the motor.
Sure, but there's still
still
got to
gonna
be
be-
a wire somewhere that's carrying that power.
Yeah, it's probably gonna heat up a little bit, but it's probably negligible. You know?
Yeah, I still think that the big glass window on the front will probably
yeah.
absorb some of the heat and send it into the car.
That's the thing about this car, and I think our next story is about a Tesla that will probably have similar issues on like really super hot summer days. The inside of the car is still gonna be blazing. But I do love this design overall. I think Nissan has tried similar things. I think they have Leaf models where the kind of where the windshield wipers lay, that little area is solar panels, solar panels, and supposedly that helps the battery quite a bit. But I can also see that same issue rising up with this vehicle.
Yeah, I mean, here, I don't know how well this camera can see that image there, but there is a total of 248 solar cells on this car that can generate a peak value of 1,272 watts at an efficiency of 21%. So you're getting about 1,200 watts from 21% sunlight, which is,
I mean, dude,
is pretty
it's great.
good.
It's great. I anything compared to gasoline or diesel, it's all good to me, man. I love it. I love where this is going. It's only gonna get better. The technology's only gonna improve. It's only gonna get cheaper. Yeah, man. Just overall, it's just gonna get better, I think.
Also, am I fucking insane, or is this dashboard moss? Look at this dashboard.
That is.
There is a glass panel, and behind it is like moss or something growing.
Dude, that's gotta be a screen, right?
I don't know. When you go up to the top, it says interior, and it says, simply put, the Scion's interior has been designed to be as clear and straightforward as possible. The cabin features our natural air filter system, Breeze Sono, alongside the vehicle's infotainment system that comes with the 10-inch display. But Breeze Sono, breathe. We've integrated a special moss into the dashboard for Breeze Sono air filtration system. It uses electrostatic gravitation to filter up to 20% of particulate matter out of the air while providing a positive effects on the temperature and humidity inside the Scion. You don't even have to lift a finger. The moss takes care of itself. I am buying this fucking car, dude.
I want that car.
That looks so cool.
That's so dope, and it's practical. It's cleaning the air, but the most natural way possible.
There's plants inside your dashboard.
That's beautiful, dude.
That looks so cool. I hope that there's a lighting option for it. I also have a question of what happens when your moss fucking dies.
Would it though? Because it's constantly getting air from outside, but the moss is responsible for filtering the air.
What happens when I live in Nebraska and it's -5 degrees?
You're right.
It's gonna die. Like, is it like a required? You have to keep it in the garage. Is there a built-in system within the vehicle that always keeps that?
But they say
system at a temperature.
They say special moss. There's got to be something unique about it that maybe keeps it alive.
I don't know. It's fucking cool looking, dude.
This car can come my way any day.
It's got moss inside the dashboard, and not to mention, we are talking about competitive pricing with the Model 3. This is around the $30,000 range, 25,500 euros. You can do another one of those conversion things for me real quick. See how much 25.5 euros into dollars is. I'd be interested.
I don't. Oh, I do have a currency. Okay, sorry.
Google has a currency calculator.
Oh, you're right. 25,000 is equal to 28,000 US dollars.
So
not bad.
Even cheaper
than Model 3.
the Model 3.
Yeah.
Like the lowest Model 3 is still more expensive than this. Now, I don't even see anything here about this coming to America either. So
yeah, this is just pre-orders as of now. They're up to 9,604 pre-orders. It doesn't say anything about America, but I'm sure it will.
It looks very
eventually.
European.
Yeah, this will probably hit European markets first,
which is fine.
And depending on the success, I'm sure it will come to the States.
I don't know. I think it looks cool, but it also looks kind of. I don't know if I like it 100%. It could use.
What about it?
It looks a little. It looks cheap to me, honestly.
The exterior or the interior or
all of it.
The shape.
All of it. The shape looks kind of ugly. The front end looks kind of ugly. It looks like a minivan to me.
It does.
Like everything looks just a little bit ugly. The only part that really screams at me is the dashboard. But then you come back and look at these seats, and they look like they're out of like a 1996 Honda Civic. Like
Yeah.
they don't look anything special, which I'm sure is part of the cost cutting, and
For sure.
that I can see here that the roof is just a roof, which
Yeah.
makes sense because it's covered in solar panels. But
Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be an economy class vehicle.
yeah,
Right?
I get
It's not
that.
supposed to be anything super special. I mean, shit, man, I would drive that
It is
car.
super special though.
It is,
in
and
terms
the fact
of what
that
it
it's
is.
covered in solar
The
panels.
technology is super special, and the fact that an economy car has fucking moss in the dashboard
In the
is as an
dashboard.
air filtration system. It's not just like a
That's-
decoration thing. It actually has purpose.
That's really smart, man.
Is ingenious. I don't know how it's gonna work, but I'm excited for it.
Dude, I'm really excited just in general for the future of electric cars. I think we got a lot of cool stuff coming our way. For
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, I've always kind of been in the camp of I really like gas because gas makes you go fast. But I've started to come around to the electric car market. Not really because I like the electric engines. I still do prefer a gas engine, but they have a lot cooler technology to them.
There is a lot of cool technology in cars. But have you ever felt the torque of a full electric vehicle?
I have not.
It's
And
pretty cool, man.
I'm
throws
sure
your-
it's very cool.
It throws your ass back in the seat real quick.
I mean,
Yeah.
I definitely I do want one someday. I would even debate like I have my car sitting outside, my 300Z.
Yeah.
If that engine were to blow up and I were to have money in hand and be able to kind of work it, there are a lot of homebrew electric cars that a lot of people do.
Really?
They'll take a Tesla engine, throw it in, or like a Tesla motor, not an engine. But they'll take a Tesla motor, put it into. There was this big, like Reddit thread or some forum thread I went through of someone who put a Tesla engine inside of like a 1990s Honda Accord, and like built a 90s Accord, but fully electric car.
Oh my gosh.
And I would love to just throw like a Tesla engine in a 300Z and
just see what
build
happens.
a dope electric
Yeah,
drift car.
That for you bringing that up makes me think like where would electric vehicles be if like this was our beginning goal? Like we started with the combustion engine. The combustion engine is great. It's
Sure.
done wonderful things. But what
runs
if we
on dinosaurs.
what if we completely theoretical? What if we started with the electric vehicle? Where would they be today? Like if we started in I don't know when the Model Ford came out, the Model T came out. But if the Model T was 100% electric, where would we be today?
We started with electric cars. Fun fact.
What do you mean?
One of the first production, I wouldn't say production cars, but when the whole Model T craze was going on, that era of cars, there was an electric car market.
See, that's what I'm saying, dude. What if we would have chosen that market as like, okay, this is how we need cars to be? Where would we be today with electric car technology?
Probably a lot further, but here's
Yeah.
the problem. Back in 1906, there weren't a lot of batteries.
But if they already had electric cars, they would have known of the idea of batteries.
There was a
quote
shit
unquote,
ton of oil.
in electric cars at that time.
No, I'm just saying, like, we didn't have.
Oh, but we had a shit ton of oil.
We didn't have all the batteries. They're like,
Yeah.
well, we can make these electric cars, but they cost $100,000 in 1906 money. Or we can make these gas running cars, and we have all this oil that's just pumping out of the ground, and those Saudis got a lot of it, so let's just go grab some from them.
Yeah, that's a whole other
And
story.
so we started building gassers, and now everyone's running out of oil, and
But that's
we're
what
like,
I'm saying, dude. If we started with just using the sun as our main source, where would we be today? We'd probably be incredible points.
I feel like
We'd probably have spaceships that were solar powered at this point. Not necessarily spaceships, but rockets.
But would we have ever made it to space? if we would have completely forgotten
Probably
about
not.
explosions.
Probably not,
If
because
we're like, explosions don't drive stuff, electricity does.
yeah, I mean, to get to space, we need that combustion.
We still use that.
Yeah, we need that. But rocket fuel and what's in a car is a little bit different.
Yeah, I mean, there are space vessels that travel on solar power.
I'm sure the space shuttle has, or the International Space Station has solar panels on it.
Well, there's a thing called I think it's called a solar sail, and
I have seen those. Yeah,
it's like a tiny little spaceship, but it opens up into a giant sail
Yeah.
that's like all reflective materials, and it works almost like a hot air balloon, where it takes the hot air pressure from a star a million miles away, but it's such a reflective piece of sheet, and it's moving through anti-gravitational nothingness that just the tiniest amount of heat can push it towards whatever its next destination is.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're already kind of there. I don't think we would have gotten that far ahead in technology if we would have
Probably,
started
yeah.
out on
Yeah,
electrical
probably
cars.
But as far as transportation goes, we'd probably be in a good spot.
Possibly.
You could probably get from here to Nebraska, like we were talking about before, in an electric vehicle, one trip.
I mean,
If
sure.
we started in the 1930s, 1920s,
I guarantee Elon Musk could put that together today. You just strap a fucking second battery into the backseat of a Tesla. Like, oh, you don't get any passengers, but you can go 700 miles now.
Well,
Like,
yeah, but that's not the
if he
same.
wanted to, he could build the 10,000-pound car that travels all the way across the United States in
Probably.
one go. But he's
I'm
looking
sure-
at
I'm sure-
practicality and beauty here.
Yeah, that's the thing. Moving on.
Moving on to
past the
Teslas, I
Xeon,
guess.
Yeah, we're talking about Elon and Teslas. The Model Y has a beautiful sunroof.
Which we haven't even really talked about the Model Y, but there's not a whole ton to talk
Yeah,
about,
not
really. It's
Yet, at least.
It's essentially the Model 3 that's got like a hump on it. Like it's like the Hunchback of Notre Dame, but it's of Model
I think
3s.
we watched the like the announcement of the new Model Y, and it is really just essentially a Model 3 but hatchback.
Yeah. But
No
it's got this
complaints.
dope ass fucking glass roof.
Yeah, no complaints.
Like,
this is beautiful.
I can make this full screen.
Maybe. There we
Yes. Like
go. Look at that.
that's just, could you imagine just long road trip, just
Dude, I'm just like
Honking out.
I'm just picturing this thing like in the Rocky Mountains, like midnight. Just
that almost looks like
think
where they
about-
took the picture.
Yeah,
like
think about-
I remember going up
Probably.
into the Continental Divide. That looks like kind of one of the roads.
Yeah, that kind of looks like that kind of looks like Arizona a little bit. It looks pretty dry.
Yeah.
But either way, just imagine like midnight in the middle of nowhere and taking a look up through that huge ass sunroof and just seeing all the stars.
Here's what they need to do. You know the Pontiac Aztec?
Yeah,
Ugly car. Breaking Bad car.
but put a sunroof on it.
I do not actually dislike the Pontiac Aztec. I think it's a good looking car, but everyone says it's very ugly. So they had this tent attachment for the Pontiac Aztec to where you could open up the hatch and there was a tent that you could pull out and you'd have this giant tent that pulls out of the back of your
Nice.
Pontiac Aztec, park it up anywhere, start camping. I imagine that with this car,
For sure.
where you have like a little tent attachment or something. Yeah. Where you can my nose is getting stuffed up. I don't like it.
Yeah, it's weird, dude. That happens every time we start the podcast.
Oh.
So I keep going.
But I imagine like you can lay down the seats, like just go stargazing, you know?
Dude,
Bring your girl out, be like, hey, you wanna go
Yeah.
stargazing?
for sure.
Perfect car.
And we were watching the announcement for this vehicle. Elon Musk was giving his little presentation,
He's so awkward.
and he is very awkward with public speaking. Yeah, he's terrible at it. But I remember turning to Trevor and thinking like, wow, dude, my next car could like be an actual legit full electric vehicle and be a nice car. Like I wouldn't have to worry about like, oh, I can only go this far. Like as of now, even the Model 3 goes in a daily range more than enough than what I do normally.
300 miles is a big number.
Yeah.
We're talking about And with these new superchargers we talked about 2 weeks ago,
Yeah,
you can charge 1,000 miles an hour.
which is
That's
insane.
20 minutes. You can recharge your Model 3.
And be done and ready
So
to go.
we're
Yeah.
talking about us having a trip back to Nebraska. That's a 700-mile trip. So that's a 300-mile trip. Take a little break halfway through, and then another 300-mile trip.
Yeah. Which that brings up to me like the biggest thing right now standing in the way of electric vehicles is the charging stations. You know, if Tesla charging super stations were everywhere, it'd be like, oh, that's so practical, you wouldn't need a regular car. But if you wanted to do a long distance trip, in some areas, most areas probably at this point, I shouldn't say that, but most areas you'd probably run into issues with range.
And I think give it 10 years.
Oh, if even.
Uh,
If even.
you gotta think. We're going back to Model T ages because you gotta think how many people were running gas stations back then.
That's very true. They're
Nobody.
probably like maybe 2.
There's places in Australia right now where it's like, hey, the next gas station is in 245 miles. Do you
Good
have a
luck.
full tank of gas?
Yeah.
Like you're going out into the desert. Like
Yeah.
we're essentially at that point, but we have all the technology to put superchargers in. So everyone's like, oh, it should be just as easy as putting them in. But the problem is when gas stations got introduced to America, anyone can open a gas station.
Yeah.
Like it's a business.
But Tesla
superchargers
are
are
Tesla.
products.
So what we're saying is buy a Tesla, help them create superchargers.
But here's the problem. Is a Scion going to charge off of a Tesla supercharger? Is it the same plug? Does the Nissan Leaf charge off of the Tesla supercharger?
No.
Is it the same plug?
It's a
No.
totally separate charger.
They need to have a proprietized charging plug for electric cars.
I think as we go down the line, as electric vehicles start to advance, we'll start to see industry standards arise as
It
far as what you need chargers
needs
to
to
be.
be an
And I'm
industry
sure
standard.
Tesla will be a leader of that standard.
I think just
But it needs to be a standard.
yeah, because you're going cross country. I don't want like you're looking at the difference between pulling up to a gas station and getting gas or diesel. Like,
Right.
do you drive a diesel car? Do you drive a gas car? Do you drive a Tesla plug or do you drive a Nissan plug? I don't want to pull up to a charging station and have
We only charge Teslas here.
900 different plugs that you can plug into, and all the Tesla ones are taken up. So
Yeah.
you should have bought a fucking Nissan.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like with any advance of any industry, there's always standards that arise, and I feel like that's probably the same with electric vehicles.
Well, and I mean,
Well,
I feel
we'll
like
see.
Tesla's getting all of the good shit. You know, like if you went out and bought a Nissan Leaf, there's like in California. Let's say California is the magic land for electrical cars.
Which it kind
They
of
have
is.
Walmarts that have solar panel parking lots that charge your cars for you.
Yeah,
None of those have Nissan Leaf plugs.
right.
Like it's all built for Tesla. So
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I would like to see all the car companies at some point come together and be like, hey, this is what we need our electric vehicles to be charged by, and this is what we're going to set up across the country. Because that would be wise for all of them. That would boost the sales for not only Tesla, but for Nissan and for Toyota, for Ford, whoever else is making electric vehicles. Like,
Yeah.
it'd be beneficial to everyone, and I think that would just be the way to go.
And I think every single I'm trying to think. Let's see. I feel like every single big car manufacturer has an electric vehicle now.
Pretty much, yeah.
Because or at least a good hybrid. Because you got to think like, I mean, Tesla's leading the game, but
Yeah.
Nissan has the Leaf.
BMW's in there with some dope
BMW
models.
has like, no, that's Audi has the e-tron that's coming out. I think this year or next year,
I don't
which is the
think
all
I know what
electric.
that is.
We might have to. Let's see if I can pull that up. The e-tron is more of a sporty car, which is obviously what I'm into. Let's see here. Audi e-tron.
But I mean, I know that BMW has models that really do compete with Teslas. I think they have the BMW i, if I'm not mistaken. That's pretty dope. I've seen it drive around Nashville a few times.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do. They're ugly as
They are
fuck.
ugly, for sure.
And I've watched a couple YouTube videos on those. They're not economical either.
Really?
You can buy. It was either the BMW. I can't think of the name of it for the life of me now. It is the i something.
It's i something, yeah, for sure.
i3. It's the i3.
i3, yeah.
So the BMW i3 is all electric. That versus the Nissan Leaf. The BMW i3 is about 60K. The Nissan Leaf is about 30K.
Mm-hmm.
They both do. I think the BMW i3 is worse in every single way except for like.
So you're really just paying for the BMW.
You're paying for the BMW badge. Don't buy it.
That's unfortunate.
But the e-tron is going to be coming out, I believe, this year or next year.
That's also a
SUV.
That's a $75 car, though.
$75?
75.
Fuck.
$75,000.
$75,000. But we're talking about a SUV here.
What's the range on this thing? What's the specs? Give it to me.
Let's
Give it to me.
give a look at it because I haven't really looked terribly a whole ton into the e-tron. I've just seen a lot of news on it. 160 mile range. Better than the Model X.
But not better than the Model 3, the consumer model.
But the Model 3 is a car. This is an SUV, dude.
So what does the Model X get?
Model X does 144.5.
Oh, okay.
And the Jaguar I-Pace is Jaguar's version. They do 144. So this is leading the way, you know.
But even then, 160 miles is plenty.
30-minute charges up to 80%.
Nice.
Using one of their public speed chargers. Apparently you get 2,000 miles of free charging when you buy one. Cool.
Nice. Wait, do you have to pay for charging?
I mean, on the go, I guess. A nationwide network of 16,000 charging stations will support nearly any itinerary, and Electrify America plans to add the network over 480 stations with 2,000 dispensers with charging speeds from 50 kilowatts to 350 kilowatts by the end of 2019. I don't know if that means you have to pay for it. Does Tesla make you pay right now?
For superchargers?
Yeah.
As far as I know, no. It's just pull up, you plug in, it's free. It's whatever. Because they use solar panels on their superchargers, you know?
Okay.
I don't know, man. Either way, I'm very excited about the future of electric vehicles. I think it's going to be revolutionary. I think it's going to be great. We should probably move on to our next story, considering we've already spent like 40 minutes on this or something.
I was thinking we just keep on going with electric cars and make this an electric car podcast.
Yeah, you want to? I'm so sorry.
I mean, we're already at the 40-minute mark ish. Like what was the time code that we started at? 15?
15 minutes.
So we're already at about 35, 40 minutes on this. Might as well push it out the extra 20. We can talk about these other electric cars.
Would you care if we took a quick break so I could piss? I have to pee again.
Dude, we can take a quick break.
Okay, cool. I love you. We'll be right back with some more electric cars, I guess?
We will be right back with some Audi e-tron electric cars and all that it's going to bring America.
Skeet.
All right, and welcome back from our break. Weird stop there.
Yeah,
I'm gonna burp.
Sorry. That was my bad. I had to pee.
But into the Audi e-tron, Amazon integrations as well, apparently.
Wow. That could be cool. They probably have Alexa built in, which is also kind of scary because fuck Alexa.
I don't know if it's Amazon integrations into the car, but Amazon will build the charging station. So, you know how Amazon has been getting into like the services points where like if you are buying computer parts or you're buying a shelving unit, they'll have an in-home service where they'll come and build it for you.
Right.
They'll come and install your charging station for your Audi e-tron as well.
Wow.
So you can
Did they play a part in developing this e-tron then? Or is this a totally separate company and they just partnered with Amazon?
I feel like they're just, I mean, Audi and Amazon are not the same company at all.
No, absolutely not. Yeah.
They are not owned by the same people. So I feel like it's just Amazon widening their reach and trying to get into that business. Maybe they already have the people who are trained in that area, so why not?
I mean, Amazon can find anyone trained in that area.
But I mean, you're essentially having Amazon come out and install a 240-volt outlet in your house, which is a little bit weird, but
yeah.
like in the days now where you can either hire an electrician or press a button and have Amazon come out and install a 240-volt outlet, which one are you going to do? Is this the end of electricians? When you buy
Amazon could be the end of everything.
It really could. When you buy a light switch on Amazon, is it going to eventually come out and be like, "Do you want us to come out and install that for you too?"
Probably. I was just talking to a Lyft passenger today. Amazon apparently bought Amazon dot cryptocurrency.com or Amazon cryptocurrency.com. They're trying to get in that cryptocurrency game.
I wouldn't doubt it.
They're freaking everywhere, man. So I wouldn't be surprised if you could buy solar panels or electric outlets or whatever, and Amazon just pops out and be like, "Hey, yeah, we'll put that in for you."
Yeah, when I bought the tire for my car, they offered to schedule an appointment to get it put on for me. They're like, "Do you want us?"
Amazon did?
Yeah, they're like, "Do you want us to schedule an appointment with a tire shop to get that mounted for you?"
What the frick, dude? They're everywhere. It's
like they have tire shops that they're working with. Like I think it was, gosh, I don't even remember what it was now. But they have some tire shop that they're working with that it will auto schedule a date for you to get that tire mounted.
Dude, that's almost kind of scary. That's too much reach for a company. One single company.
It's scary a little bit, but it's also like the future of convenience. Like,
but what is the price of convenience?
I don't know.
You know?
Imagine before Walmart. Before Walmart, when if you wanted clothes and you wanted food and you wanted some hardware stuff, you had to go to 3 different stores.
Yeah.
But now you can just go to the Walmart Supercenter and get everything. And it was probably this revolutionary thing, and it killed all the smaller stores.
Yeah.
All of the smaller stores that you had to go to those 3 stores to get that stuff just got killed. Amazon's going to kill Walmart. I mean, I know you're all against Walmart. You hate Walmart.
Fuck the Waltons.
I love Walmart. It's a magical land with magical stuff that just happens 24/7.
I think the convenience of Walmart is great, but the people who running Walmart, fuck them.
Sure. I don't really give a fuck about who's running Walmart or what the fuck happens. I don't care what happens behind the scenes. I want to walk in at 3 a.m. and get my Cocoa Puffs, you know?
But at what cost? At what cost is
I don't care
Cocoa
what the
Puffs?
cost is. Fucking people are dying across the seas, and I'm like, I want my Cocoa Puffs at 3 a.m. God damn it. This is America.
But I honestly feel like Amazon could be worse than
Amazon is going to take out
Walmart.
The second that they can get same-day delivery on everything, it'll be the end of Walmart.
You think that'll ever be possible?
Yes. I say within the next 5 years.
Instant delivery on everything.
Same-day delivery on everything. You're
What
going
if
to have food, you're going to have clothes, you're going to have anything you want delivered same day.
Probably. I guess you're right, man.
We're already halfway there. I can go, living in Nashville at least, I can go on there right now and pretty much anything I want, I can get 2-day to 1-day shipping.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we have like 3 Amazon facilities here in Nashville.
Like, we're living up the good life here. In smaller towns, you're probably limited to the 2-day shipping. But even then, 2-day shipping on everything.
It's wild.
It's almost everything now. Like, there are some oddball items that don't have a Prime option, but it's almost everything now that has a 2-day option, and most of it has a 1-day option too.
Yeah.
So I really think that they are going to be the next super company that takes over the world. It's going to be Amazon and Google.
The next super company? They're already the super company, man.
They are. I mean, they already are. But you got like Google and stuff also up there.
I don't think Google really stands a chance against Amazon. Only because Amazon is already so established in so many markets.
I mean, I think they're different companies as well. They do different things.
They definitely do.
But it's all getting very blurry as well.
Yeah.
Like, Google is making self-driving cars, which they're not in the car industry, and Amazon's out here charging cars, and they're not in the charging cars. And
they're buying cryptocurrency.
Amazon is a bookstore.
Amazon started as a
It is
bookstore,
a
dude.
It is an
and they
online bookstore.
They drove every bookstore out of business.
And
Barnes and Nobles is barely hanging on, you know?
I mean, print media's gone. Like,
Print media's done.
And
Don't buy newspapers.
I am okay with it because trees need to live.
Thank you. I 100% agree.
There we go. Don't cut down the trees. Read it on a tablet.
Yeah.
Like,
it's so much easier. You can type it up on a Microsoft Word doc, throw it up online, and boom. No trees harmed in the making.
So now what kind of mental dilemma do you have to go through? Are you going to support Amazon in becoming the largest super company in the world, or are you going to support the Fremont Tribune in becoming a paper print media in their hometown?
That's honestly tough. If there's some separate issues with Amazon that I don't appreciate.
I mean,
we won't necessarily get into
like
right now.
Every company has their bad side. Like
They
you
do,
could look at Fremont Tribune and they're like, there's probably someone that's getting fucked over.
Probably, yeah. But my thing is with Amazon, they made like $11.2 billion this year, $0 in taxes.
Okay.
Totally different
Are they donating?
issue. Maybe.
How much is going to charity?
I have no idea. I'm sure Jeff Bezos and his ex-wife now donate, but
he's gotta.
Is that enough? Like, I feel like taxes are a totally separate thing than charitable donations.
I feel like Jeff Bezos is not like he doesn't seem to me, at least in the public eye, like the kind of guy that wouldn't donate a lot of his money to charity.
Right. I'm sure he's a good guy, but there is
like
definitely
he's making $11 billion a year or whatever. I'm sure he's donating a lot of. I guarantee within the next 5 years he starts to follow the Bill Gates motive.
I think Bill Gates.
There's part of it where it's maybe he needs to keep that money to invest into something bigger, but there's also part of it where it's like maybe he's saving that money so he can put a solar panel on every house in America. Maybe that's his master plan.
Yeah, I would think Bill Gates, just from what I've seen, interviews, etc. I think Bill Gates is a much better guy overall than Jeff Bezos.
I'm sure.
But I also wouldn't be surprised if Amazon was keeping some of that money to a side to invest. I mean, shit, man, they probably use some of that money to invest in the e-tron.
Yeah,
I'm
hoping that
here.
in the future. I mean, Bill Gates right now is setting an extreme precedent for billionaires. He's essentially saying, we don't need this money, just donate it to charity.
Yeah.
I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
And I mean, Jeff Bezos, I hope he kind of follows the same direction, but I can understand where you might need to save $11 billion for investing into an electric car that can go 0 to 60 in 5.5 seconds. Like,
right.
And 2 tons of towing power. This thing can tow 4,000 pounds. Wow. So like we're moving into electric cars that actually have function now, which, I mean, not that the Teslas don't have function, but looking at the interior of this thing, 5 seats, it's got fucking touch screen, climate control in the back seat.
Wow.
160 miles on a 30-minute charge from a high-speed public charger. You can ask Alexa in the car, like you were saying. I bet it's Alexa integrated.
Yeah.
Just ask Alexa. On your way to find a restaurant, just ask Alexa. I bet it's got Wi-Fi, like
Wi-Fi
4G. I bet it's got 4G.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure, dude.
To where, like,
I wouldn't be surprised.
Or maybe it just links up to your phone. But Alexa, open the garage.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, there is that. This.
And here's the Amazon links. $550 for your charge point.
Yeah, I will say, while we're talking about Jeff Bezos and Amazon, they have to be probably the smartest company in history. They have so well placed themselves in a position where they can suit anything pretty much easily. You know what I'm saying?
You said sue or sell?
Suit.
Oh, suit.
Suit. They can fit into any market with ease almost at this point.
They've bought into everything.
Yeah, which is, I mean, whether I like to say it or not, brilliant. you
Yeah.
know?
Like, you want to get into the video market, you have all of the Amazon Prime Video.
Yeah.
You have Twitch.
Yeah.
Amazon owns Twitch.
Do they really?
Amazon owns Twitch.
What the fuck?
So they have the video gaming market down.
They're now in
Amazon
cars.
owns so much.
They're in cryptocurrency. Well, potentially. They're about to be in. I feel like Amazon's about to do something big with
There
crypto.
are cars you can order off Amazon. I feel like
You
I've
can
s-
order cars?
I feel like I've seen Amazon deliveries of cars before. They come in a fucking box.
Wow.
I feel like I'm on Amazon right now. Is there a
Look up a Honda. Can you buy a Honda on Amazon?
can I just buy car? If I just type in car, what comes up? It's Lego.
It's Legos.
There's
So maybe they're not totally into the selling cars.
I
industry.
definitely seen someone get an Amazon delivery of a car before
Are
on
you
video.
sure? Are you sure it wasn't Tesla? Because Tesla delivers their cars pretty nicely.
In a cardboard box that says Amazon on the outside.
Okay, never
It was literally like a cardboard box that gets dropped off at someone's driveway, like by this big semi truck.
And it's a freaking
And it's
car.
a fucking car, and it's like a Toyota Yaris or something, like a tiny little car. But you can just pick it up off, like kind of like Carvana does, where they just drop the car off
Yeah.
in your driveway. It'd be like that, but with Amazon. I wouldn't doubt if they get into that in the next couple of years too.
Easily.
They've obviously already kind of tested it,
They have the money for it.
but yeah, I mean, going back to electric cars, I don't know. I feel like Amazon can kind of distribute on that, possibly, like electric cars, electric chargers. Could you imagine you never have to leave your house to get your car? You just go
Or
on
the
to Amazon, build it there, order it, they come out, they build your charger for you, they set the car in your garage for you, and you're on your way.
I mean, I I love the potential, but there's a lot that scares me. I think this is straying away a bit from electric vehicles, but I think if Amazon became that powerful in every industry, it could be scary.
I mean,
because
sure.
you're dealing with one company that's doing everything.
But
Corruption could be rampant there.
corruption can go rampant, but as of right this second, Amazon seems to be in the let's keep everything super fucking cheap.
Yeah.
Like they are definitely, in terms of Amazon as a company, they are not hiking prices up anywhere. Like they are trying to keep everything as cheap to the consumers as possible, and that's how you're growing. In the future, I know Americans, if Amazon's the only thing and they decide, all right, we're going to hike the prices now, people are going to say, fuck that. Let's go back to Walmart. Like,
Yeah.
people
But
aren't going to stand up for that.
Would Walmart be there at that point?
Who cares?
What do you mean, who cares? You can't go back to something that is no longer there.
The Walmart will recreate. It will reassimilate.
So you're saying it wouldn't be
It
a
will
Walmart.
rise from the ashes like a phoenix. Like, I mean, that'll happen. That'll be like who the fuck was I talking to? Where they were just saying, like, eventually people are going to get fucking tired of their cell phones. We're all going to get tired of all this fucking technology, and we're just going to throw it all out, and we're going to go back to fucking sending each other letters. And it's like, at what point does the technology get so far advanced that we're just like, fuck this. This is all way too complicated. I can just, like, half the time with text messages, I'm just like, I can just fucking call this person. Like, why am I worried
Yeah.
about all these messages?
I don't think technology will ever be too complicated.
I
think we'll only learn to adapt to the technology.
I think that there's going to be a point where technology gets to a certain time, and either everything's going to go to shit and we're all going to get sent back to the Stone Age, or we're going to voluntarily say, I just don't want to deal with this. I want to have. I don't want to put in all of my social security information to sign into Facebook anymore. I just want to live my life, you know? I don't want to be on the internet. I don't want to be out there. I just want to live my life and be me. There's got to be a point where we all say, fuck it, you know?
But what if there's a point where people don't even remember what life was like?
They're always asking for more. And that's the thing. We will know that. But our generations ahead of us
exactly.
won't.
What if the point you're talking about happens, it occurs after we die? Because I think we can probably fairly say that our generation is the last to experience kind of that transition between high tech and not a lot of tech.
And the next generation will be the last to experience our normal internet as it is now, and the next thing. There's always I think we're at a point where exponentially we're gonna skyrocket into the future. It's gonna get crazy in the next 20 years.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident that advancing...
Look at the last 10 years. What the fuck was going on in 2009? Shit. We were still having flip phones in 2009, dude.
Flip phones.
Shit's gotten crazy.
Hey, we were gonna talk about some flip phones this week, I think. But
no, it wasn't on the list.
It wasn't.
It was on the list for possibly next week. Which a lot of things are just keep on getting pushed back because we keep on getting pulled into these stories.
Yeah, I feel like we had a lot of good stories.
We had a lot of good stories this week, but we're almost at time for this week.
We're pretty much close. Yeah, man, I don't know. I mean, this is the frontier, man. This is the new stuff that's happening. Amazon, electric vehicles, how it's going to combine. Do you think another company like Amazon's going to appear on the market?
I think
someone's
going
to compete. You think? Yeah, I was kind of thinking the same thing. Like, it's too late. You can't join the market with an Amazon business model and be fine.
But who's already out there? You have eBay. eBay is kind of in the same...
eBay was kind of... Was eBay before Amazon?
Before Amazon.
Okay, but
it's a different...
It's not the same. Yeah,
it's a
used items.
Space.
It's users selling, whereas Amazon is
still user selling.
Not necessarily. Sometimes yes, but it's also stores and corporations selling their product through Amazon.
I have never bought. I think I've bought one used product off of Amazon.
Really?
Yeah, it's very rarely that I ever go into the used section on a product.
I mean, I'm always going to that, but I'm a cheap ass, so I don't know.
I am never looking at that section. I remember it was back in it had to have been 2000, probably 2010. I was in probably middle school or high school. Had to have been. I would have been middle school. I bought Rock Band. Like the whole kit off of Amazon. That was the first thing I ever bought off of Amazon.
Nice.
Was Rock Band. And I remember I got it and it was used, but it came in and it was all sealed in a box. And I'm like, what the fuck? How's this used?
Yep.
But apparently it was used. It was all sealed in a box. It was even the game, it was a PS2. But the PS2 game was still in its cellophane wrapper with all the security seals and stuff on it. So I don't know why it was classified as used, but I got it for cheaper than new. Or I don't even know if there was a new option at that point. But I don't know. Amazon has evolved a lot over the years.
Yeah.
And
I mean, they started, I think, primarily as books.
That's what they did start as. Yeah. Was just online books.
They were online bookstore.
And they have Kindle now, but that's nothing.
Yeah, that's the smallest thing they probably do. They fucking do everything, man.
But
I don't know. It's a wild life we're living in. It's a scary but very exciting world. It has potential to be freaking great, but also potential to be very bad.
It's all about what you do with it. And that is going to be our lesson for today's Super Buggy podcast. Be a better person. Don't fuck up the world. Don't fuck up your planet.
Don't do it.
Go pick up some litter.
Hashtag trash tag.
Hashtag trash tag,
That's
dude.
been trending on Reddit for a while now. Hashtag trash tag.
I didn't
Check it
take
out.
any pictures, but I did hashtag trash tag the back of my work.
That's
There was,
great,
there was a
dude.
bunch of fucking like
You should have
trash
taken a
and litter
picture.
back there. And I was just like, you know what? I'm so inspired by all this hashtag trash tag stuff that's going on. I'm going to clean up back here.
It's great.
So I got a bunch of that stuff cleaned up, and I think everyone should do that. Just find every single day you're going to drive past something that just looks trashy as fuck. Get out of your car. It takes 20 minutes. Just
If
clean
even.
that shit up. Put it in a trash bag. Go throw it in someone else's dumpster. Like, they're not going to get mad. You're cleaning up litter.
Yeah.
It's kind of a felony, but it's okay because you're cleaning up litter.
Yeah,
So-
man. You're doing a favor bigger than the felony's worth.
Save the world because we don't have much time left before Amazon becomes our overlords and takes over everything.
Fun fact, that's actually now.
Pretty soon. But thank you guys for watching the Super Buggy podcast. We upload every single Monday at 4 p.m. We go live first on YouTube, and then everything goes up to Spotify and Google Play and possibly iTunes. We don't know.
We're
working on all the platforms.
We're on everything as far as I know except iTunes. We're trying. There's some weird stuff with iTunes. They're really specific. We're trying to get there. But check us out on Spotify, Amazon Prime, Amazon
Amazon
It's everywhere!
Prime. It's everywhere. Google Play. Like, yeah, Spotify is the place you're going to want to listen. Like,
Yeah, check us out on Spotify.
Nobody listens to Google Play or Amazon Prime, right?
No one
Like,
uses Amazon Prime.
But
dude.
check us out on YouTube if you want a video format. Again, the links for that Nebraska flood relief
Yes.
charity will be in the YouTube
Yes,
description.
yes.
And always, please feel free to leave comments on these YouTube videos. We'd always love to know what we are doing wrong and what you'd like us to do better.
Or just add to the discussion.
or just
What
add
do
to
you
the
think?
discussion.
What do you think about Amazon or Tesla or e-tron or whatever else? Just let us know.
All the
What
shit.
do you want to hear us talk about next week? You know? Hit us up. Let's
All
do
the
it.
shit.
We're listening.
But, and again, sorry for all the camera difficulties.
It happens.
We're working through it. But thank you guys for listening to the Super Buggy podcast. This has been week 5. And be your best, I guess.
Be your best.
Peace out.
out.